Hello, everybody. I'm CinnamonToastKen, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're checking out Where Are They Now? The most popular predators on Chris Hansen to Catch a Predator. We're watching SunnyV2, you know, the channel that pretty much if he does a video about someone, they're getting canceled or something terrible has happened. So let's see what has happened. I mean, I guess they're all alive.
At least the ones he's doing in the video.
They ain't got in prison yet. All right, let's see what happens to him.
The 6 most notable creeps from Hansen vs. Predator. And we're going to begin by talking about
I remember them all. Oh, God. I was really we've done videos on all these guys so far. Really bringing me back here. Oh, boy. All right, we got the math tutor first. The one who was like, when Chris Hansen came out, I'm Chris Hansen. He's like, no, you're not.
I'm Chris Hansen. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Yes, I am.
Dang, it is. God dang it.
After arriving at the Sting house, Mike bumped into Chris immediately before trying to make the excuse that he was simply making sure that the 13-year-old girl was safe inside her house.
Yeah, that was his whole story. It's like, I'm just here to make sure she's okay. We had this weird conversation that I instigated online, and I was like, you know, I need to come over there and make sure you're okay. Your parents need to know what you're doing, was his excuse.
That because Mike's discussion was pretty clean prior to the meetup, he was only sentenced to 3 years probation, meaning that he avoided any time in prison and wasn't registered on any unsavory list.
That may be the case, that he didn't get in that much trouble, but I think that clip of him on their channel has like 40 million views, you know? So
right.
I think people know.
The head of security, Ron Knight, was actually Mike Manzi's uncle, and that there is a part that never aired where Manzi is insisting to Knight to let him go because he's known Manzi since birth.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh, juicy. Oh.
No way, dude. Oh my God. I wish that part would have aired.
Oh,
That's gotta sting.
That dude's always been there too, because he's always like the guy that like stands in the doorway. So he's head of security. Okay, is his uncle? Oh no! That dude showed up and he's like,
Yet his uncle told Manzi the best thing he could do is go through the garage and remain silent, which Manzi obviously didn't do.
Because like best thing you can do is just shut up, dude. Just shut up and get out of here. No.
As a result of the episode, Mike now hates his uncle. However, the most interesting thing revealed in the message exchange was that Manzi was an avid watcher of TCAP back in the day, which explains why he recognized Chris Hansen.
Well, he hates his family. I mean,
right.
My uncle didn't let me go, and his whole family's like, blocked.
Right, yeah, dude.
Oh,
The fact that you think you should be let go for that.
come on, bro, let me out of here. He's like,
He is not tutoring or teaching anywhere. He lives with his parents.
Which would explain 2 recently surfaced photos of Mike working in a retail job, representing a pretty significant fall since tutoring for some of Connecticut's wealthiest families.
So this is like how I like watching these, like, I'm too lazy to put all this stuff together. I know all the information's there. I can just go on the Wikipedia and it probably says most of it. But thank God for channels like SunnyV2 where they got it all put together for me, and I can just digest it and then share it with you guys also if you haven't seen it yet. So he's working in retail.
With his parents still. He's still living at home.
Yeah, well, I mean, geez, like when something like this happens, it's gotta be tough to have like a functioning career after that, right?
Imagine the strain on the relationships that put on his parents and the other side of the family. You know what I mean?
However, Mike still got off lightly in comparison to John Dupee, who, as a result of his appearance on the show, has now become homeless.
He's homeless now. Oh,
God.
So this is the guy that had like he said that he was way younger than he was. He had like the weird gelled hair. He brought like a bunch of stuff with him, I think.
And was so creepy that simply standing next to him was enough to terrify the decoy, yet she apparently had nothing to worry about, as he stated that he was only there to watch the football.
Yeah, just there to watch the football. This dude, this is like the
I remember him.
The dude that it was creepy just to watch him. Yeah.
He just has that look about him.
After revealing that John was simultaneously talking to more than one minor, he was arrested, interrogated, and given a notice to appear in court, where he'd be trolled and heckled by the attendees as he pleaded guilty.
Ooh, so the people there were just like, boo! Boo, you suck!
They trolled him. Oh, man.
And the judge actually in the case had to order the crowd to be quiet, to be orderly, because they had figured out who he was and what he was being accused of, what he was pleading guilty to.
There's more. So they sat down there like, wait a minute. I know that guy. you suck. Boo. And the judge's like, stop.
Order in the court.
So he becomes homeless. Oh, God.
4 months into his prison term, John's brother and sister were both killed in a car accident, which happened on the very same street where the Sting house was located. There are unconfirmed anecdotes that John was also disowned by his parents after the episode went live.
His brother and sister died in a car accident where the Sting house was?
Wow.
Bruh. How far did he have to drive to get there originally? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember his.
That is a very oddly convenient spot for a tragedy to happen. Dude,
I wonder if, like, you know, all of that surrounding the issue, you know, impacted maybe them that much. Oh, dude, man.
It's like there's a lot of leaps you can make, right? Like you think about it and go, well, that's weird that the same spot where that happened and everyone in town definitely saw the episode and all of a sudden accidents happen. I don't know. Yeah, probably not, but still, that's wild. Or maybe there's like, you know, rubbernecking looking and like ran off and hit something. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but still, that's crazy, actually.
After 3 years in the shelter, John was able to move into a group house, although in October 2021, only 2 months after moving out of the homeless shelter, John violated his probation in an unspecified way and was sent back to prison for another year and 2 months.
Yeah. A homeless shelter, then got to a group house and violated parole. Who knows what he was doing. Went back to jail. I mean, he's probably trying to stay in jail at this point.
Since his release in December 2022, John has been residing in a shelter for recovering addicts, although John
okay. Yeah, well, that's kind of what I was thinking of. Like, the man's on hard times. He was probably hooking up something, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So he's got it rough. Okay, so what happened to the plumber?
Joshua was the New York plumber who locked the door behind him after entering the Sting house, stating that his biggest nightmare was ending up on a Chris Hansen episode.
Yeah, he went to the bathroom and come out or whatever and was like, oh no.
Is there a light switch in here? Come on out, Joshua.
He's like, oh no.
Oh, he's the guy that went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I remember that because we were like, what? The dude could have come out with a gun.
Yeah. Yep. He locked the door behind him.
After Josh comes out of the bathroom, Chris is already there waiting for him.
I know who you are.
Yeah, and he's like, great. I know who you are. And he's like, what? That blows my mind. Like, a lot of the most popular guys in the show come from like this same house and they're aware of the show.
Right.
They've seen it. And here they are.
They still do it.
And they still do it.
God.
And then between like SunnyV2's video and our video, and there's going to be someone out there that is aware of how bad these guys have it after it happens, and they're going to go do it, and they're going to get called. And it's just like, bruh. Hurts me.
It does.
This one, Chris has dad bod going on right there, though. That button right there is barely hanging on, boy. It's like, woo!
That's when he stopped bringing the pizzas to the table, you know what I mean?
He'd incredibly admit that this wasn't the first time that he'd met up with someone underage, which eventually helped the court to secure a 7-year prison sentence.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he was pretty straightforward. He was like, yep, I did it. Yep, this. And they're like, all right, throw you in jail.
And would admit to a co-worker that he was very remorseful and would happily take back his crazy Russian ex, then go back to that house with Chris Hansen. On his really bad days, he would talk about how he doesn't want to die alone and that he knows that he'll never have a semblance of a normal life again.
Whew, well, at least he's, wow. At least he's aware of a situation.
Yeah.
Whew.
I was going to say, you make a mistake like that, man. Not a whole lot. It's hard. I imagine it's got to be real hard to come back from that.
Shit, I don't want to call it like a mistake. It's like, they make a choice like that.
Exactly. It's the choice, man.
It's not, you're like,
got the choice to not do it. So this don't happen.
You're like, whoops, I accidentally messaged someone underage and drove to their house by accident and walked in, that's not...
Right. Locked the door behind me. Ugh!
Approximately 1 year after being released from his first prison stint, a post was made to the TCAP forum stating, Joshua Cologne was convicted yesterday after spending a few months in prison for a probation violation. 4 years jail, execution suspended after 6 months, probation 9 years. This guy will never learn.
Oh, well, he, like probation, like what is it? What did he do? How do you break a probation for like this kind of thing?
Right, yeah. I mean, I'm assuming probation might be like about like the same guidelines for just about all of it. I would assume.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
I don't know that
Okay, that makes sense.
But like,
yeah.
you got to call in, you got to show up for your meetings, you got to drug
Right.
test
Yeah.
every time to make sure you got to try to get a job and be on the straight and narrow. Because if they see you swerving again, they coming for you.
Right. Okay. So he's swerving, and they came and got him.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Okay, I was like, what did he go and like get caught talking to another minor or something, or didn't tell people that he's a registered sex offender? But yeah, I guess you're right. It probably is all just the same when you're on probation.
After which his former co-worker and friend took to Reddit to explain the reason for the sentence. He contacted me after he got out of prison for a second time, letting me know that he'd been framed.
He'd been framed. It wasn't him. It was Kevin. It was Kevin back at the base. That's who they always blame, right? That one guy. I was framed by Kevin.
Apparently, he wasn't allowed to have any pictures of any children on his phone. His sister shared a picture of his niece in a chat that he was in, and he got locked up for it. His explanation.
Okay.
Oh, now he's trying to say his sister framed him?
All right. Well, you can't get your kids on his phone. But I mean, if it was a Facebook message, your family member sent you a picture of like your niece or something, I figured that they would be like, okay, that checks out, right?
Joshua Cologne is or was recently an inmate currently at the Connecticut Department of Corrections, leading many to believe that Josh is now back in prison for a third time.
Whoa, a third time. He's right back again. Jeez, man. All right. Well, again, at the same sting house, a dude shows up that Chris recognizes.
Oh, I remember this guy.
Yeah, the accountant that shows up.
No, Chris. What are you doing? But this.
He's like, what are you doing here? That guy's like, oh no.
Oh, hey, man,
God.
it's you.
Oh, jeez.
Did I just drop you off?
Whoa, I just saw you on the train, homie. What's going on? No.
Throughout the interrogation, Charles made the hilarious claim that because of his poor eyesight, he read the decoys age as 18 instead of 13.
Yeah, that's what this whole story was. He couldn't read it. It's like it was a 3, but I thought it was an 8 the whole time. And everybody's like, and you're an accountant and you do people's taxes and stuff? Like, yeah.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Whilst in prison, the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants, under which Lawrence was employed, confirmed that Mr. Lawrence's AICPA membership was terminated effective May 25th, 2017.
Well, he ain't doing no accountant no more. He's done with that. They're like, nope. License gone, sir.
And after finding Charles's LinkedIn, it states that he's the president of a company called Lawrence Real Estate Enterprises Inc., which is still active today. And
he's got a business, He's not the face of it though. You don't ever see him. He stays behind, he ain't there. I mean, he's had it for 24 years, god dang.
lists Charles as the company's CEO. However, Chris did mention on his podcast that Charles had some issues with keeping his license.
I'm not clear as to whether or not he's still involved in commercial real estate. There was an issue with his license after his conviction, after he pleaded guilty.
Although,
Well, I'd imagine so. I imagine like all your licenses kind of get looked at, it was like, or even if they don't, just,
Right.
yeah, he would have to be like, his name is on it and just never actually show up because people would be like, wait a minute, I saw you
Right.
on
Are
TV.
you the guy?
Yeah. He's in there trying to sell a house and they're like, they got like a family and their kids are there. They're just like, hold on a second. Whoa.
in May 2021, a post was made to Reddit explaining that they saw Charles Lawrence living in an over 55s complex, which has been confirmed as true after looking up the address listed on his public offender registry.
Okay, so he's in the nice neighborhood with all the old people. Yeah. You get your, if you're 55 plus, it's a little cheaper to live there. Got some, they take care of the yard and everything. Yeah, it's a good retirement place. I guess he already had money before he got convicted and everything. So he just kind of retired early, basically.
However, we've got plenty of dirt on the now infamous Stephen Buchanan, who gained notoriety for showing up to the Sting House with duct tape, a camera, and various weapons in his car.
Yeah, this is the dude that came with like the,
The murder kit.
the murder kit, right? Yeah. This is the guy.
Dude,
like,
this
what? Go
it's
ahead.
like a freaking a montage of all the worst.
Yeah, it's all the same sting, and like I think the last time we did any of the guys from this, it's like 2 years ago, I think, or something like that, since we last did a video on any of these guys, and God, it's all coming back to me, and I regret it. I regret watching this video and having to remember all this stuff.
This was extra terrifying as after arriving at the house, he refused to enter and rather tried to coax the decoy into getting into his vehicle.
That's right, he had the freaking kit, and he didn't want to come in the house. He was like, "Come with me, come get in my vehicle. Yeah, let's go somewhere else."
We'll get some food.
Yeah, like nothing was ever confirmed of whether or not he had ill intent, but it was just like, just watching it, you're like, if this was not staged or like a sting and someone got in the truck with them, they may have just died. They may have just been done.
Right.
I'll show you how bro. You get some food if you want. Or not going to the movie.
After being
Yeah, he's like, I just don't want to go in the house at all, period. But then Chris hits him with the Chris Hansen magic.
I'm gonna need to talk to you for a minute. Please come in.
Unbelievably, Buchanan comes inside to talk.
Yo, he's like, oh yeah, bet I'm coming in.
Dude, the power of Chris Hansen right there. He just walks out. Hey, man, come in here. Sit down. And he's like, okay.
Like Scorpion, bro. He's like Scorpion. He's like, get over here.
He like comes in the house. Chris is like, hey, why don't you come in? And he's like, okay. He just walks right in.
Might as well.
Like, God dang it.
Buchanan tries to blame his depravity on the PTSD he got during his military time in Iraq. Although despite this impediment, Buchanan still served 3 years in prison, after which...
Yeah, I remember going over that too, about how he like really throws out like that he's a vet and everything, like really throws it out there and tries to milk it.
Yeah.
I mean, because like, respect vets and all that stuff. A lot of times, I mean, well, I'm not gonna say a lot of times, but anytime you like see people that go through this kind of stuff, there's always like a show of support. Everyone's like, oh man, you served, appreciate you. I'm sorry you're having this tough time. We want to help you. And I guess he just kind of thought that he would say that and kind of get the same thing, like abuse that respect that people have for armed services. Everyone you
not for this, homie.
Everyone you served with just went, no way.
Right.
So a user by the name of Bud1985 took to Reddit in a post reading, Stephen Buchanan. This took me a good hour of searching through old pics from Iraq, but I finally found it. I served with this turd.
Yeah, I was gonna say the people that served with him probably like, Here they go. They're like, look at this guy.
Continued in the comments by stating, when he was active duty, he was a tank mechanic. And how do I know this? He was my tanks mechanic. He would do maintenance on it in the motor pool every Monday. He never went on a single mission. He never seen a minute of combat. He may have been through some mortar fire, but that's it. It pissed me off so bad when I heard him blame it on PTSD.
Get him.
You right. It was like, dog, nope. Let me tell you about this man's trauma, okay? The transmission went out.
Oh, dude. You just smell it sometimes when people say this stuff. You're like, oh, PTSD. And you're like, bull crap. You got caught red-handed and you're just kind of throwing your Hail Mary and hope it works. Like, I was in the military, PSD, please forgive me. And then the people you served with are like, dude.
The most recent photo of Stephen Buchanan comes from July 2022.
That double chin going on there. He been eating good.
He still lives in Connecticut with his parents, and he's working driving a large truck.
Also explaining that he was able to have a conversation with Stephen's father.
Oh, okay. So he's living with his parents. He's a truck driver. I guess it's kind of just what you do. You just go live with your parents because your social life is over if you get caught by Chris Hansen, right? Then you interviewed the dad. What did the dad say?
And the father had the tone of a man exasperated with having to deal with the circumstances around his son. He told me that Stephen has moved on with his life and essentially that he wants to only look forward. And then the senior Buchanan asked that I never call the number again.
But while Stephen...
Old dad hitting the dad move is like, all right. Dad's like, bruh.
Yeah.
Chris Hansen's calling.
Great.
Which, I mean, like, within the family, I'm sure they're trying to move past it, and he's just like, leave my son alone. But at the same time, your son shouldn't have been there to begin with.
This has been significantly more difficult for Jeff Sokol, who became arguably the most notable predator in Chris Hansen history.
The pizza guy, the most freaking sure he's not in trouble dickhead that was ever on the show. Oh my God. The poster child, really, to catch a predator at this point. Oh, he's so chill. Eat some pizza, offer some pizza, whatever. I ain't done nothing wrong. What you gonna do about it?
What pizza we have tonight? Who's this? We'll get to that in a minute. Who are you?
Is he got his own pizza? Chris Hansen come out there with the small,
That's his plate.
You can take your pizza if you like.
You want a slice?
I'm good, thank you.
And even after being...
It's like, Chris, you can take that with you if you need to finish it. I mean, yeah, it's all good.
He kept his cool. He was pretty confident that he was going to be able to get out of this, be able to get a good lawyer and to really take care of his case.
Well,
Get a good lawyer. I mean, he's over there like giving the interview without his lawyer. None of them ever get a lawyer.
Wow.
They all think they haven't done anything wrong, and they're just going to smooth talk their way out of it. which is a good thing because then they just go to jail.
Wouldn't receive any charges. This didn't alter his reality, as after going
Old dude's like, going down the stairs, just kidding, going back up the stairs.
as after going through 3 different lawyers, he'd be sentenced to 2.5 years in prison beginning on the 27th of May 2017.
So he went through 3. The lawyers were telling him, dude, take a plea deal or something, you're going to jail, you know? And he's like, nah, you're fired. Give me someone else. The next one's like, bruh, the last guy was right. All right, you're going to jail. Like, bruh, no, you're fired too. Third guy, please. And third guy's like, bruh, dude, what do you want me to do? Sacrifice my job as a lawyer to like lie that you're going to get out of this? Come on.
The Jeff Sokol episode became so popular that fans of the show tracked down the restaurant from which the pizza had been ordered and began to visit the restaurant asking for the exact same pizza that Jeff had gotten.
So this is one thing that I have noticed like through the forums and like the Wikipedia page and stuff like that is people, the internet continues to go after these people. Like it doesn't stop that they go to jail and they get out. Like there's public information. People go find it. People try to start conversations. People troll them. Like their life becomes a prison. Like if they want to try to get on social media because people will find them and be like, "Hey, you're the guy." You know,
in case you forgot.
I can't really hate on it, man, because it's like at the end of the day, they made a choice to drive and go meet with a 13-year-old.
Right.
Yeah,
who thank God wasn't a 13-year-old by themselves.
Yeah.
Thank God it was a sting operation. Like, dude, dude.
Like every now and then I'll see a comment on these videos or being like, I'm glad he got caught, but man, I feel bad for these guys now. Every now and then I'll see one and I'm just like, they dug that on. They did this to themselves. So, whatever. Like, don't feel bad for them now.
Feel bad.
Like, yeah. Well, you can't. I mean, there's no. You should feel bad for the potential victims. That's what think about, like their entire lives being ruined. It's like, this 40-year-old dude shows up and tries to ruin someone's life, and you feel bad for him. No, don't feel bad. They deserve it.
Yeah, the video on where are they today should be on. Man, I bet if you want to know what real sadness and stuff would be, man, it's got to be those people who had to go through things like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, actual victims of it, and that's crazy, man. Like,
I'm a big believer in people change. People can change for the better. Like you take like content on YouTube, like it used to be like real edgy, and then there's been a lot of movements on social media to like educate people about things, and things have changed for the better. And people have changed like the way that they speak to people for the better. But some things like this, when you go and try to take advantage of some innocent little kid in this way, it's like that sticks with you for life. You're done. It's like, not okay.
The restaurant has since had hundreds of positive reviews, many of which subtly referencing the Jeff Sokol incident.
I think I remember reading this too, that the pizza place actually named a pizza after him or something, or not maybe after him, but like referenced it.
And according to an email sent to us by a fan, the restaurant had to eventually ask people to stop asking for the Sokol special.
That's what it was. They didn't name it that, but people kept ordering it, and they're like, okay, please stop. Well, this is not what we want our brand to be about. Please stop.
Leading Jeff to try and change his name legally to Sonny Derek Porter.
Sokol actually went to court and petitioned to change his name to Sonny Derek Porter.
You can't run from it. Like I'm saying, people keep up with this. Chris Hansen keeps up with it. He's going to go on his podcast and let people know, man.
This episode is now available online, along with many other troll videos and nasty comments from fans of the show. In the aftermath, I've experienced humiliation, harassment, and embarrassment. Since my current name will always be linked via a simple internet search, I'm requesting authorization to change my name. I'm working.
So that is a valid reason, but you always, whenever you read this, you always have like that, the eye squint stare at it, like, you want to change your name? You want people to not know that you did this? But again, like I said, especially like him, like the top guys of the show, the most viewed, like they all get it, and I'm sure it's got to be crushing. But whatever.
I'm working hard to be a better person overall and making a sincere effort to treat everyone with respect. I hope to meet new friends and acquaintances and wish not to be judged based
it's like acquainted. How do you spell that, by the way?
Like, I marked that out.
And wish not to be judged based on one gigantic mistake I made a few years ago.
No, you definitely should be judged by that one mistake you made a few years ago, because it's not a mistake. You didn't make a mistake. You made a choice.
Right.
You didn't. Whoops! Well, my bad. I made a mistake. I didn't. You trip over something.
Happen?
You make a wrong move in a video game. That's a mistake. No, you made like a choice. It was a whole conversations happened. A long drive happened. Yeah, there's no whoopsie daisy.
However, the name change was eventually rejected, which only led to more trolling.
It led to more trolling.
I mean, I would have been very surprised if they would have let the name change happen, because there's like legal, the sex offender registry, all this stuff would have to be changed too. And there's like, no, you can't change your name. You can leave it the same because you fucked up, or excuse me, you screwed up.
You don't want the parents and the community you live in now to be weary of you. Like, that's not fair to them or their families or their kids or anything.
Well, it's the same thing as always when it comes to these guys. It's always woe is me. Like, it's like, but me. But what about me? It's like, what about you? You like the charges for this kind of stuff are so light.
Yeah, seriously. Whew.
I mean, I got kids.
Oh, these people.
I got kids. Jesus Christ. They're lucky it's a sting operation. It wasn't me coming out the back of the house. You trying to talk to my daughter or something. You wouldn't be walking out that bitch. All right, I gotta calm down. Shh. Language.
I know. Yeah, when it's different when Chris Hansen says have a seat and when Buff Pro says have a seat when he's walking in his house. Ooh, baby, believe that.
Jeff moved in with his parents in blank. It seems like he comes from a pretty affluent family, so he probably just mooches from his parents and stays low key. The most recent photo of him comes from early 2021, which unfortunately marks the final piece of information we have on Jeff's so-called.
Oof. Still got that same haircut too. God dang.
Yeah, he does. A tiny bit of hairline left, you know.
Yeah, you gotta stick it up a little bit.
That little faux hawk right there.
The little faux hawk on there. Got the shaved side, but it still got the sideburn on there. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Despite being one of the show's most notable people, he certainly kept one of the lowest profiles.
That's where they are now.
Wow, that made me sick.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like this comment right here. I always die laughing when the pizza guy Pred just munching on pizza while his entire life is getting destroyed. Yep. Nah, that's a good video. So yeah, you can check out SunnyV2 if you want to watch the video yourself. Leave a comment, do all that stuff. Leave a like on this video too. It helps out a lot. Let me know what you think about that. If today's your birthday, happy birthday. I'll see you guys next time. Say toast to my friends. Bye-bye. By the way, just a little bit of information for you guys that watched the very end of the video. I never say I love you at the end of these videos because I feel like it's very weird to watch one of these and say, if today's your birthday, happy birthday, and I love you. Right? Right. All right. Bye-bye. Have a good day, everyone. Bye. It wasn't him. It was Kevin.